episodes transition to each other so well. Because episode 1 just ends like, Guilmon just looks at him, and Kakao's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And like, the big question you're left with is like, oh, well, like, how are we going to, like, deal with this, like, crazy, like, wild animal, essentially, that can just nuke people? And episode 2 starts, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is how we're gonna do that.
Yeah, of course, Guilmon is friendly to Takato, because why wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh man, it's a big deal. Like, he goes over to Takato and, like, sniffs him a little bit, and he just kind of knows he's his partner, I guess.
Yeah, he just does the doggo, like, head nuzzle.
Yeah. So Takato puts him in a box and sneaks him into his room.
Yeah, pretty much.
And,
yeah, I like that his parents seem to figure it out almost immediately, and they're just like, yeah, we'll have to have a talk with him.
They think it's just a random animal. They have no idea it's a giant dinosaur.
Yeah, as would most people, I assume.
So, so Guilmon was just born. He's literally a baby. He's not in baby form, but he's basically a baby at this point. Slash, like, cat.
Yeah.
Like, he goes over to Takato's desk and, like, sees a bunch of stuff on it, and he just, like, nudges it off with his nose.
Yeah. It's such a doggo move.
Well, it's more of a cat thing.
My dog does that all the time.
Oh, okay. Well...
Like, he will be sitting, like, on the stool next to controllers, and, he'll have, like, enough room, like, just be perfectly fine like that, and he'll just nose the controllers off, like, knock onto the floor, and just lay back where he was.
Okay. I'm more appreciative with a cat, because even, like, just a bit ago, my cat reached up and pulled my keys off my desk. But yeah, he's very, very immature for a rookie.
Yeah. Guilmon doesn't understand things. Like, he has to have them explained to him. And, like, this is the entire episode about, it's like, Takao has to, like, kind of learn to explain things to Guilmon in a way he'll understand.
Yeah, because like I said, Guilmon thinks, like, everything is a Digimon.
Yeah.
He thinks Takato's a Digimon, and he doesn't know his own name until Takato tells him. But eventually, unlike the dub, it seems like it actually takes in Guilmon's head. He's like, okay, he's not Takatomon, he's Takato.
Yeah. Like, Guilmon can understand, he just needs a bit of, like, coaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just sort of, like, hang out, but he's like, okay, yeah, like... You have to go up there. He's like, I'll, like, find a place for you so you, like, can just stay hidden from people while I go to school. And Guilmon's like, okay, yeah, sure.
I don't know what any of that is, but okay.
Yeah, he's like, I know why I'm hiding, but alright, I'll try.
Yeah, so Takato finds, like, an alleyway somewhere, and just kind of puts Guilmon in the box, and he's like, okay, you stay here, I grabbed a bunch of food from my parents' bakery, you just eat this bread whenever you're hungry, and I'll be back later. And Guilmon, like, eats all of it then and there.
Yeah. He eats, like, all of it, and...
Good on Takato, because he leaves him a big old mound of bread. Like, he leaves him a lot, so he understands that Digimon eat a lot. Yeah. I guess he underestimated it, though, because Guilmon eats it immediately, and he's like, done!
Yeah. He eats it immediately, and his first thought is like, oh, hey, where's my partner? So he's like, well, it's okay for me to walk around as long as I have this box on, right? So I'm just gonna go to his school.
Yeah, Takato told Guilmon to stay hidden in the box. He didn't say he couldn't leave.
Yeah, he did say, like, stay right here in this spot.
So Guilmon finds his way to Takato's school.
Yeah, then we get, like, a bunch of just hijinks where it's like... there's not really stakes, but there's like the low-key implication of like, oh, if Guilmon gets found, there's that group of government people out there, you know, who knows what they're planning. Like, oh, they might do something to Guilmon. Oh no.
Yeah, there's like a teacher like teaching his classroom, and Guilmon peeks in through the window and then just leaves. And the teacher walks outside, and there's like big old, like gigantic scratch marks running down the door. And he goes back into the classroom and he's like, "Oh, nothing. Never mind. You kids pay attention."
Yeah, it's there's a bit where it's like the principal just shows up and sees Guilmon in the cardboard box, and he's like, "Hey, take that off. I'm the principal. You have to do what I say." And he's like, okay. And he just takes it off, and the guy freaks out because it's a dinosaur.
Well, before the principal says, "As long as you're in the school, you have to listen to me," he's like, "You take that box off right now." Guilmon just goes, "No."
Yeah, like he tries to pull it off at first, and like it won't budge because Guilmon's effing strong.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. These, I don't know. Guilmon just telling him no straight up makes me laugh. And then the principal, because Guilmon, I guess he's good. He's a good listener because it's like the principal establishes a rule, and it's like, well, as long as you're in the school, you have to listen to me. And Guilmon's like, oh, okay. Guilmon's really naive, but it's really funny.
Yeah, I should probably switch to this picture. Actually, yeah, that's fine.
So like, take that box off, and Guilmon's like, all right.
Yeah, guy freaks out. He pushes the fire alarm and like breaks the glass with like his index finger.
Yeah, I thought that was nuts too. There's a fire alarm behind the little like sheet of glass, and he just pushes his finger through it, and it's like, holy crap.
That takes a lot of fear to be able to break glass with like your index finger like that. He goes off, he like cleans out the bakery, because of course.
Yeah, Guilmon, Takato shows up to like a big group freaking out, and it turns out that all the bread, and just the bread, is gone. Why?
Yeah.
Because Takato established that bread is food.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm not gonna touch any of this art stuff then.
Yeah,
this is what's safe to eat.
Yeah, Guilmon doesn't know. He just thinks that the only food is bread, so he left all the other stuff alone.
Yeah, Takao just like, sees this all going on, he starts to freak out. And it's like, this is about when like, we finally get introduced to Henry, yeah, who like show up a little bit in the last episode, but like, not that much in this one.
Yeah, we see Henry hanging out, and he has Terriermon with him at the school.
Yeah, so Henry's like another tamer, except his Digimon is like not a monster. Like Terriermon's just sort of cute and
I mean, yeah, he's super cute. I wouldn't say he's not a monster, it's just that he can pass as like a stuffed toy.
Yeah, he's way more disciplined, I'll say, for the most part.
He's still kind of a punk.
Yeah, because, like, Takao's freaking out, and, like, like, Henry figures out that's, like, Guilmon's his Digimon, so it's like, Terriermon's just like, oh yeah, like, if you and your partner aren't on the same level, then, of course they won't listen to you. Doesn't that make you kind of a bad tamer? And, Henry's like, hey, cut it out.
Yeah, I think Terriermon specifically says something like, if you're this bad at keeping track of your Digimon, you don't deserve it, or something.
Yeah, something along those lines, basically.
Yeah, and Henry's just like, Terriermon, dude!
Yeah, like, Terriermon just sort of speaks his mind with that second thought. So that's something I really like about this series so far, is like, we're getting very distinct personalities for each of the Digimon. It's not like just, like the Tamer's personality, but like a bit different or whatever. Like, Terriermon's straight up his own person. Like,
Yeah.
Guilmon acts, like, way different than Takao, like, Romon has, like, her own, like, character, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, Tamers has a smaller cast. It only has 3 kids instead of, like, 8 or 10, eventually.
Yeah. So it has to, like, what characters it has really count.
Yeah, so they can expand on the Digimon's personalities as well as their partners, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Because now we only have to develop, like, 6 characters instead of, like, 16.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Digimon in the first series don't have much personality to speak of.
Yeah.
I mean they do. It's just not as much as they go into with Tamers.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's very much a sort of like, oh, they're sort of, they mimic their Tamers, and that's mostly it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Takato runs off crying because I guess what Terriermon said really got to him.
Yeah, because he knows it's his fault. Like, he knows
Yeah.
that, like, this is because he's a bad pup dad.
Yeah, Takato is like, I lost my Digimon and I can't find him and he's causing trouble and that Terriermon is right.
Like, he overreacts a lot, but it makes sense because, like, he's clearly a kid. Like, he's immature.
Yeah, Takato's like 10 or something.
Yeah, and, like, he reacts in a way like a 10-year-old realistically would if someone was like, oh, hey, you're messing up. And, you saw you were actually, like, messing up.
Which is kind of unrealistic. Kids don't hear that they're wrong and be like, oh man, you're right, I've done a bad job. The kid's like, nuh-uh, you're stupid. Like,
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the person, really, because, like...
Yeah, it does. But yeah, Takato's all upset, and then does he see Guilmon on the roof, or does he just go up there on a whim? What's up with that?
I forget exactly how, but, like, whatever, he ends up on the roof and he, like, finds Guilmon. I think he does see him or something.
It does show him look up into the sky, but I don't remember it showing him looking at the roof specifically.
Yeah, maybe
So
just to... Yeah, maybe just to have feeling in, because his partner is just drawn there.
Maybe. So yeah, he goes up to the roof and there's Guilmon. Guilmon's like, hey, can we play now?
Yeah, he's like, please stay up here until school's over, and Guilmon's like, alright, yeah. The episode just sort of, like, starts closing out, like, school, and, like, he goes out and he, like, finds just a random, like, like, he starts searching around for somewhere to, like, hide Guilmon, basically.
Yeah. In the park, there's like a little stone building. I'm not sure what its purpose is. But yeah, there's just like a little small building that seemingly nobody would bother looking into.
Yeah. Oh yeah, before we get there, I do want to mention there's a quick scene where, like, Romon just fights a random Fugamon.
Right, a Goblimon materializes in the real world, and then it evolves mid-fight.
Yeah, there's a little, like, cutaway just somewhere. I forget exactly when this happens. But yeah, Romon just fights a random Goblinmon, and, like, a detail I like about this is, like, she's punching it, but she's not really doing damage, So it's like, yeah, like, Romon's, fast, but she's kind of, like, physically weak, she's more agile, more, like, stealthy.
Yeah. Also, Fugamon's, like, a champion.
Yeah, so she punches at Goblimon a bit, and, like, it starts evolving, and it turns into this Fugamon, which is this thing right here.
Which is a red Ogremon with a loincloth.
Yeah. Specifically, like, a tiger loincloth, because Oni.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, Fugamon goes for like the Oni look.
Yeah, because Oni are known for wearing like tiger skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like Japanese demons and stuff for people who might not be aware.
They're more like Japanese ogres.
Yeah. Yeah, demons. It's all becomes like, very generalized after a certain point,
Hmm.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, eventually...
Fun fact, a lot of Oni can use magic. They're wizards.
Yeah, I believe it.
Alright, sorry, what are you saying?
Renamon gets a power-up from Rika using the card, and Renamon uses Diamond Storm and takes out the Fugamon.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
really it. That's kind of that whole scene. It just shows Rika and Renamon take out this Digimon.
Yeah. There's just one little thing I won't pop, which is that it's like, after I defeat it, Rika's kind of like hard on Renamon, but then you see her like smile a little, and it's like, oh yeah, she kind of does care in her own way.
Yeah. Also,
yeah, right.
Also, I think around the time Goblimon evolves into Fugamon, you see Calumon hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a scene that happens. Calumon is like on a... Oh, maybe that happens next episode.
No, that's this episode.
Oh yeah, because it happens around this time.
Yeah, Calumon's just running around in the real world, and he just, like, sees a random couple making out, and he's like, oh, hey, what's that about? And they're just like, what is this thing?
What you doing? What you doing? What is that? Can you tell me? Hey, it's like,
why'd you stick your tongue down her throat? What's that about?
So yeah, the guy sees it first, he's like, what the heck is that thing? And the girl sees it, she thinks it's just like a toy. And then Calumon keeps talking. So Calumon has no, I guess most Digimon that show up in the series that aren't Tamer Digimon are, just kind of unconcerned with people seeing them.
Yeah, they just don't know they're supposed to be hiding. So they're just like running around doing whatever.
Yeah, I think the weirdest thing is that the couple runs away from Calumon, who's one of the cutest Digimon so far.
Yeah, honestly, if I saw Calumon on like the street and it started talking, my first thought wouldn't be, oh my god, monster. My first thought would be like, what the crap is this thing?
What is this? Holy crap, it's adorable.
But yeah, so like, Takao and Guilmon are like looking for a place to like, hide out, basically, to like hide Guilmon during the day. And then Rika just shows up.
Renamon just kicks Guilmon into a fence.
Yeah, dits the fence. Like, holy crap.
Well, Guilmon's probably a really heavy guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Rika's just like, oh yeah, you have a Digimon? Okay, fight me, let's go. And Takao's like, what?
I'm gonna kill your Digimon and absorb it.
So yeah, end of episode 2, start of episode 3, like, just great cliffhanger. I feel like the second episode of these is like the weakest one,
It's alright.
Like, it's alright, it's fine, but it's just sort of a lot of like, whatever. First one's like really just structurally solid. This one's just sort of like, it gets the point across, it does what it has to do.
The second one sets up that taking care of Guilmon is going to be harder than Takato thought.
Yeah.
It establishes that Rika's going around killing Digimon to power up Renamon.
Yeah, it doubles down on this idea that, like, Takato is not prepared for this crap at all, and he's way in over his head.
Yeah. Also, poor Takato has the hardest time hiding his Digimon, because Renamon can turn invisible, and Terriermon can pass as a toy.
Yeah, Renamon just sort of, like, vanishes at some points. Like, I guess it's because she's meant to be a ninja.
Ninja slash, like a kitsune.
Yeah, like, she's very, like, ninja-like, she just sort of, like, slinks off and just vanishes from sight, and she, like, just throws those weird crystal bits and stuff, which are apparently like crystallized leaves because Japanese mythology.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Renamon is usually also nature type in most games.
Yeah, but yeah, she like shoots hard and leaves out basically.